sort of talking about the existential threat that AI poses, and so Future Shock, kind of sort of reflects that. It sort of reflects the collective shock that we're going through, trying to process so much information at one time. But we may change the name before it's over with. I'm thinking of a lot of different names. I have to stop changing the name of the show, I guess. I got to get a control on myself regarding that. But it seems like it's a shifting area, and so I'm trying to find a word that really sort of epitomizes what we're trying to do. But what we're trying to do is keep you updated with what's going on with AI. What we're learning, we're using it here at Ocean 7 at the television station, and it's so profound, and so many things are happening in the world of AI right now that are affecting all of us, that it seems like it's the biggest thing that's happening right now out there. So that's kind of how I believe we've evolved into covering AI news. And it's really difficult to really cover it because so much is happening at one time. But I guess what we do is we do highlights on the biggest things that are happening right now. I got a bit of information on NVIDIA. Everybody is talking about NVIDIA and about it being a great potential investment. And so I've got a little bit on that. And basically it's the top 50 AI stocks. And so I guess over the next few days, we'll take a look at some of those potential investments that are out there that you might be interested in investing in if you want to get into AI. And so there's a whole lot of them and we'll talk about one or two of them later in the show. Now, what do we have today? Here's an example of something called deepfake. Okay, deepfake is the technology that enables the AI to create an image that is not the real image. It's a fake image. It's a deepfake. It looks so real that you really can't tell. So here is an example. This is courtesy of AI Workshop. It's the singularity, which is what we're approaching potentially, relatively soon. AI becoming artificial general intelligence, which is a big leap from where it is now, and then becoming artificial super intelligence, which is sort of the science fiction realm that we're looking at in the future, right? But singularity would be the point. Well, let's get our explanation from this deepfake version of that explanation by none other than Mike Tyson. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, this is Mike Tyson. Just kidding, I am actually a deep fake version of Mike Tyson created by AI Workshop to explain to you the fascinating world of AI singularity. So let's jump right in. Imagine waking up one day to find that the world as you know it has been forever changed. Not by a natural disaster or a monumental human achievement, but by the very technology we've created and nurtured. Welcome to the edge of AI singularity. Experts predict that we're swiftly approaching a pivotal moment in history, a singularity where artificial intelligence will surpass human intelligence, potentially in the next 5 to 10 years. Hey, listen, I am all for technological advancements, but we got to be careful here, because things could get out of hand, and even these hands won't be able to protect us if we are not careful.
This morning, a warning about the power of artificial intelligence.
More than 1,300 tech industry leaders, researchers, and others are now asking for a pause in the development of artificial intelligence to consider the risks.
What exactly is the AI singularity, and how will it transform our daily lives, society, and the future of humanity? Let's dive into the world of infinite possibilities and uncover the reality behind the AI singularity. The AI singularity represents a futuristic inflection point where artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence, initiating an era of unprecedented technological growth and innovation. The singularity signifies a moment when AI systems can redesign themselves or create better algorithms without human intervention, leading to exponential improvements in their capabilities. This evolution could enable AI to solve complex problems across various domains, from quantum physics to global health, marking a transformative leap in our technological landscape and posing new philosophical questions about the nature of intelligence and consciousness. The path to AI
Okay, well, that's a little bit from Mike Tyson, or the deepfake version of Mike Tyson, on singularity. Basically, it's when the droids are able to think for themselves to the point where they can program, they can use their superior intelligence to do superior programming on their own intellect and become exponentially smarter than we could ever program them to be. And so that's where it's going. And that's what I think people are afraid of out there, you know, as far as them becoming more powerful than humans and basically starting to run the show as far as the superior intelligence on the planet. But anyway, it was good to see Mike Tyson there giving us the explanation. I'm a Mike Tyson fan, and I think that you know, he's so much smarter than people give him credit for. I think Mike Tyson is almost like a philosopher. If you really listen to some of the things that he says, he's very well read and very up on, you know, the history of the world, really, and all of the, you know, the great historical moments, you know, throughout time. It's really surprising. You know, he's not a boxer only. He's a lot of things. Anyway, I like him. Anyway, that was an interesting clip. Okay, now we've talked a lot about the humanoid robots that are being programmed out there. So it's a humanoid robot powered by AI. So it's a humanoid AI infused robot, and the capabilities of these robots are off the charts. It's amazing what they can do. And so this is another area where when you talk about AI taking jobs and supplanting the human jobs that we have out there, here's another example of that. It's not just, you know, computer algorithms and programming and things like that. I mean, or graphic development, or Sora, which is from OpenAI, which is a text-to-video application. We have a story on Sora coming up in a little while. We've had a number of stories on that. It's kind of a mind-blowing thing to see that in action. But the robots are more of an assembly, let's say an assembly line type thing, where the robot is doing a repetitive thing over and over, but he can see and he can hear, he can take instruction, he can understand English, and then he can be deployed to take action and do what it is that he's doing. So it's not where it was yesteryear. Robots are not there. They're way, way, way ahead of anything that, you know, that they were in the past. So let's take a look at this clip from Boston Dynamics on their new humanoid robot. His name is Atlas. Let's take a look.
So Boston Dynamics recently just announced their new version of Atlas, and it is actually quite surprising how good this robot is. So we're going to take a look at this robot and dive into exactly why this is literally the next generation in humanoid robotics. So that was the rather impressive demo that has been going viral recently, and I think it's pretty surprising on how insane that robot is. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I do need to tell you because it isn't just this demo. There's actually a decent amount of information that they've released with this robot, and I think we are about to see how crazy humanoid robots are about to get. So if you don't know, this robot is I guess you could say, the next generation in terms of what's to come after they retired the initial version, which is of course the Atlas. Now, I think it is a little bit confusing that they just didn't call this Atlas V2 or Atlas Pro or something different, because their previous robot, a couple of days ago, they announced that they were going to be retiring this version. You remember this version of Atlas, the one that broke the internet in terms of being completely viral because it was a humanoid robot that moved as well as any human, or even better than some humans could, in very hard tasks. And this was something that definitely broke the internet. The videos have over hundreds and hundreds of millions of views, and it seems that now, since they've decided to retire this robot, they're going to be moving on into the humanoid robot space. Now, with this demo that we saw, we've got to be honest, this is very, very impressive for a variety of different reasons. The fluidity of the robot, the uncanniness of the movement. I mean, just how the robot was able to stand up right there is definitely something that you probably might see out of a Terminator movie. And then being able to just swivel on the joints right there shows us that this is a robot that can move very, very fluidly. Now, they also included some pieces of information with this robot, and there's a few key features that I do want to show you that you might have actually missed. So with the blog post and the video, they said that this is the latest iteration of the Atlas robot that builds on a long history of innovation and research and design, pushing the limits of whole body mobility and bimanual manipulation. From Petman testing protective clothing to the recently retired HD Atlas performing parkour, we've spent over a decade moving the state-of-the-art forward with humanoid robotics. Now, of course, I've already shown you the video in which they talk about the evolution of Atlas and how they managed to get where they are today. But one thing I want you all to remember is that this version of Atlas, the first video where it was doing the crazy movement, wasn't even recently. These kind of videos and demos have actually been around for quite some time, and we've even saw the recent parkour video. It's essentially 2 years old. So this robot is likely probably a few years in the making and isn't just something that they've decided to come out with. They've certainly been working on this for a very, very long time. Now, something that we always get in the robotics community is why on earth do they make robots that are in the humanoid form factor? So you can see right here that they state traditionally we have focused on legged robots because we wanted to build robots that could balance and move dynamically, robots that could navigate unstructured, unknown, or antagonistic terrain with ease. And the main factor here, the main reason that most people don't seem to think about, because most people decide to question why these robots are humanoid, because some people just think it just because they look cool. That's not the reason. The reason is it's because the world is designed for humans. So if you're going to design a robot, you need to be able to design a robot that can be plug and play with our already established environments and one that works effectively. I mean, yes, you could build robot dogs, which is essentially what they've used to be focusing on. But if you build a humanoid robot and it works very effectively, you don't have to redesign the world around the robot. You just have to design the robot around the existing world. So robots with wheels don't really work well because of stairs, and robots that can't walk up stairs don't work well in certain environments. And you can see here that they said the humanoid form factor is a useful design for robots working in a world designed for people. So that's something that you should know. Now, in addition, in the blog post, they state some more interesting things. They state that this is going to exceed human capabilities, which is a little unsettling for those of you who may have watched too many Terminator movies. So it says, however, that form factor doesn't limit our vision of how a bipedal robot can move, what tools it needs to succeed, and how it can help people accomplish more. We designed the electric version of Atlas to be stronger, more dexterous, and more agile. Atlas may resemble a human form factor, but we're equipping the robot to move in the most efficient way possible to complete a task rather than being constrained by a human range of motion. And that's why I have the picture of the robot here in the bottom left-hand corner, because we all saw exactly how that robot stood up. It was probably the most uncanny thing I've ever seen, a robot being able to swivel on its hips and just standing up like something out of a horror movie.
Okay, so there's an example of the latest from Boston Dynamics in the area of humanoid AI-infused robots. And you can see where they're pretty agile and they're able to do a lot. They've got dexterity with their hands, they can see, they can hear, understand English, and then speak. Or in this particular case, we didn't see him speak, but of course, you've probably seen videos where they are speaking and communicating. So it's a pretty interesting situation when you think about how that can interface across a broad spectrum of jobs that are out there. And so that's the thing. I think, you know, I've heard different numbers, but the number of potential job displacements looking ahead over the next 5 years, it's an astounding number. It's in the millions of jobs that can or will, literally will be displaced. And that's why, you know, on this particular show, I mean, any type of insight that we can gain from learning about the AI onslaught and what we can do to infuse the AI right into our workflow, where we can use it to our benefit and not be supplanted by it, is a good idea. So we've talked a little bit about, I know I've talked about it a lot, but it's one application I can point to where we use it here at our program. This show, Future Shock, that graphic was developed by our ChatGPT-4 AI, which we call him Alfred. And Alfred, I asked Alfred to create the graphic for the show, calling the show Future Shock. Give me a graphic back, that we can use as our opening for the show, and that's what he gave me. And when we opened the show, and I'm sure that's your cue, Clarence, to pop it up if you can, we have the Future Shock graphic that we were trying to get up there before you saw that erroneous shot of me. There it is. Well, there's a couple of them. That one, both of those we used, and that's the one that we use in the beginning of the show. And so that was created completely by a text back to the AI. And now, well, here's another one. This is our graphic that we use on Ocean 7 television. It's Carl the Rooster, who is the mascot of Ocean Springs. And we sort of immortalized Carl inside the logo. Shine bright. There it is, Carl Jr. He's the son of Carl Sr., and he was with us for quite a few years. And then, he's no longer with us, but we've immortalized him in that graphic. And there's another example of a graphic created by AI for our show, Future Shock. All I did was give it some context. I said I want something that's sort of going to replicate the extreme flow of information that we're trying to keep up with. The technology explosion, AI explosion, and how it feels to try to process all of that information when it starts to really hit us that this is a reality. We'll be suffering from future shock. So give me a graphic that replicates that. Boom, there it is. And so anyway, that's our show. Now, the other project we have that we needed some graphics for, aside from those two, Ocean 7 and the show Future Shock, was the Magic Hour channel, which is a show, and we're actually streaming on that now. So it's on channel 7.5 here locally, but because we have the content that we're programming on that, we were able to stream it. So now we're on Roku. So if you go to Roku, and if you've got a Roku TV and you can download Roku, search for the Magic Hour channel on your app selection there, and you can download that app and you can get our 24/7 movies free of charge. Now, how will we ever monetize it? That's the next step, and we'll figure out something as we go forward. But the main thing is it's up and going, and we conquered that technology leap. For us, at this point, it's not such a big leap. But then again, considering the fact that it's on the ground and it's not satellite and it's fairly simple, and the technology is there, and we had the films. I consider it a great achievement for our little project here, and to have been able to accomplish that. And now where does it go from here? Now we'll try to perfect it and make it a really good channel. So if you like old movies, you can go to that app on Roku, and soon, very soon, it'll be on the Amazon Fire app. And coming after that, Android for Android devices, and also Apple TV. Plan on having an app for everything. And so anyway, just the beginning, but it's fun, and it's so wonderful to see how technology can distribute a product like that worldwide, via streaming. Okay, now it's time for our Apothecary Spot. This program is brought to you by the Pendragon Apothecary, which is a forward-leaning wellness shop, and we are now online. And I want to tell you that we are up on our online site. So if you would like to order a product from the Apothecary, it should be able to be done now at pendragonapothecary.com. The Shopify site is back up. Now, I wanted to show you one of our products that we have had for quite a while, and it's a popular product. It's another tea. Now, it's called Breathe, and it's a lung and respiratory aid. Okay, so it's a lung tonic tea. And the ingredients are all very, very beneficial for that part of your anatomy. It's got reishi, mushroom powder. It's got astragalus, mullein, tulsi, milky oats, ginger, holy basil. And so this is a loose tea. Basically, it's 1 teaspoon per cup, and you let it steep 6-8 minutes, and then strain it, and then there you go. And so this is another example of the type of products we have here at the Apothecary. And generally, it's a wellness, a forward. I have come to describe the project as a forward-leaning wellness shop. Forward-leaning meaning a lot of the products we have are not products that are well known in America or in the Western world. Things like all of the 7 sacred mushrooms. I mean, we are becoming, in the West, I guess, more aware of the beneficial nature of mushrooms. But, you know, generally speaking, I mean, I think we've been sort of conditioned to think that, oh, mushrooms, hey, this is a poisonous plant and I've got to run, I can't touch a mushroom. Not really. I mean, there are, of course, a lot of mushrooms that are, but you need to get a guide, or you need to, I tell you, the best thing to do is get the app. There's a mushroom app, and you can get it for your phone. It takes a picture of the mushroom, scans it, and tells you what the mushroom is. It's called Mushroom This. That's a little hack for you. Mushroom This. And anywhere you're at, in the field, in the woods, if you see a mushroom and you don't know what it is, you can take a picture, you can use your app, call it up on your phone, take a picture of it, it scans it. It might ask for pictures from the top, from the side, whatever, to make sure it's got the right one. Then it'll scan it and come back to you with a picture and a description and all of the profile on that mushroom. That's what I use now to try to discover what I'm looking at out in the woods, because there's so many types of mushrooms. And of course, you got to be careful. You don't want to try to pick or touch or ingest a mushroom that's poisonous, and a lot of them are, but there are a lot of them that are not, and they're edible, and some of them have great medicinal value, like turkey tail mushroom, which they use in the Vedic medicine in India and also Chinese medicine. They use that as an anti-cancer treatment. Google it, you'll see. They've used it for many, many generations in that part of the world. And then others like reishi, the king of the mushrooms. And then, of course, you've got lion's mane, which literally you can find here locally in America. Okay, lion's mane, it's been used historically for cognitive issues in Vedic medicine and also in Chinese medicine. So there are so many of these types of plants that are beneficial to humans, not just the mushrooms, all kinds of things. Elderberry, you know, elderberry is kind of an old folklore remedy, you know, a folk remedy from the past, but it works and it keeps you well. There's a lot of reasons for it. You can take a look at it, do some research, and you'll find about the medicinal benefits of elderberry. And we have that, and we have it on the farm. Farm to pharmacy is what we call it. We've got the farm, we grow things, and then we create products and bring them all over here. So not everything in here is created by our farm, but a few things. We've got the elderberry grown organically at the farm. We turn it into the tincture, and then the tincture we sell here at the Apothecary. Also, goldenrod is another wild organic plant that we have on the farm. We create the goldenrod tincture. It's for blood circulation and has been used for erectile dysfunction, among other things. So there's a couple of things. Anyway, it's the Pendragon Apothecary, pendragonapothecary.com, to order a product if you'd like to peruse our medicinal products. Okay, now back to the show. Well, we have talked in the past about the applications for text to graphic design, and I showed you an example of that a minute ago, where I could text in, or in my case, what I do is voice the text in, and then send it to Alfred, the AI, right? And he'll send back the graphic. Okay, that's the component in the ChatGPT-4 app called DALL-E. So it's the graphic, text to graphic interface. Now, the other one is Sora. Now, Sora is not released yet for the public to use. I guess it's about to be. It's been released from the standpoint of this is what it's all about. Take a look at the demos, which everybody was floored when they saw what this thing can do. And I think now they've got a program in Hollywood where the graphics designers or the animation people, they're all using the program to create stuff, and it's like a big explosion of excitement regarding this. Well, a lot of talk about Sora, has been going on, and it's really a mind-blowing, game-changing application in so many ways. And so I'm excited for this to be released to the public as soon as it is. Of course, we'll be using it here on this program and on this television project, Ocean 7, here in Ocean Springs along the Gulf Coast. Now, we've got a video. This is another video. This is Sora and some of the uncanny developments surrounding this app called Sora. Let's take a look.
What data was used to train Sora?
We used publicly available data and licensed data.
Sora is one announcement that still has the AI industry reeling. The demos of Sora's capabilities from OpenAI were both stunning and shocking, defying everything we thought we knew about AI.
My belief is that all repetitive human work, that will all be done in the next couple of decades, better, cheaper, faster by AI.
It was as if Sora had come from another world, one where AI had already surpassed human intelligence. But right now, Sora is about to get a lot more interesting. New videos from Sora. Over the past month, several filmmakers have embarked on an experimental journey with Sora. The outcomes of these experiments, as posted by those who tried it out, have proven to be nothing short of astonishing. The first video is an airhead that was generated by Shy Kids. From what we can see, the film's scenes are so realistic that you might mistake them for live action if it weren't for the quirky character with a balloon for a head. One issue with our current generative video tools is maintaining consistency across frames. They often struggle with intricate anatomical details such as hands and faces. However, in Airhead, there's a striking scene featuring a train car filled with passengers, and the faces are incredibly lifelike. Then there's a second video titled Abstract, and it's by Paul Trillo. Trillo confirmed that all visuals were directly from Sora with no color correction or post-effects applied. The jump cut edits in the film's first part were also generated using this technology. Trillo explained that he was inspired to explore beyond the gaming-like aesthetics seen in OpenAI's recent demos. He sought to discover different visual styles achievable with Sora. The outcome is a video resembling vintage 16mm film, achieved through a series of experimental prompts. The last one is titled Beyond Our Reality by Don Allen Stevenson. Don Allen Stevenson mentions that Sora interprets prompts quite literally. For instance, when he attempted to zoom in on a helicopter, Sora fused the helicopter with a camera's zoom lens in a unique interpretation. Despite this, Stevenson finds Sora easier to guide creatively compared to previous models, relishing the unpredictability of the process. The current state of video creation.
It's going to be net great, but it's going to be like a technological revolution. It's going to be a societal revolution.
You see, the world of video creation is in an exciting and evolving state right now. Thanks to advancements in technology, creating videos has become more accessible to everyone, not just professionals. Many people use smartphones.
Okay, we'll have more on that. We've been covering it, and there you go. I mean, if you haven't heard much about Sora, you just saw it. All of the video was created by Sora. It looked real, but it wasn't. That was all AI created. Okay, that's it for the show today. Thank you so much for being with us. We're excited that we're streaming, and you might be able to watch this in different places other than over the air here on Ocean 7, and so it kind of increases our viewership, and we're so happy that we've got some viewers out there. So thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.